the recent release of the Fruits Basket movie was something that was quite interesting, and it kind of did make an impact in the community. At least for me, it did around my surroundings. So let's start with the first one, the most obvious one, which was the controversial grooming part of, how do you call it? I guess relationship between Toru's mom and her dad. And like, it was pretty evident that it was a huge age gap. Now, from what I understand, I think Toru's mom in middle school, I believe. I think she was like a third year. So technically, she was like a freshman in high school. And Toru's dad was actually, I think he was 21. He was a student teacher. And here in the States, to be a student teacher, you do have to have a lot of experience. So I'm assuming that he was either 21 to 25. So he was an older guy by a lot. So this was definitely, I guess you could call it a grooming situation, although the movie didn't try to portray it that way. And I know a lot of you are going to say that this was obviously a cultural thing. However, I mean, I can't really speak for the country, but it's not as common as you think. Like, the age of consent is not what most people believe, and I think they've updated the laws. You know, feel free to correct me down in the comments below, but again, this anime was made a long time ago, or I think the manga was made a long time ago, so it was a different time for sure. Now, do I think that this was like a huge grooming situation where they're trying to manipulate somebody? No, I mean, come on, guys. You guys have seen the film. We all know what the movie's about. We know that it was a wholesome movie, so there wasn't like not much foul play that was in the movie. So I really don't understand it. I mean, there was never once in the movie that signaled that, you know, she was being manipulated to stay in the relationship. So I do think that there was a lot of exaggeration by some of the fans' reactions to this, or just outsiders who were just trying to comment inside this movie. Now, I'm going to address something that I think is interesting. I saw a couple people mentioning it, but it wasn't really too vocal. And it's just something that I just kind of want to get my point across. And that's that there is a huge double standard when it comes to creating content for women. And there's a lot more leeway and not so much pressure that comes when it comes to creating content targeted towards girls. And this is what I mean. The theater, keep in mind, was surrounded by girls. So I think I was like probably one of the 4 dudes there. Like, the rest was just girls. But I did notice in the beginning, a couple of them did wince and kind of groan when they found out the guy's age. But there was the same ones who were complaining about it were later on his side, and the ones cheering for the couple and obviously very invested into the story. And I noticed that they completely changed their mind as soon as the guy does a seductive but cute look. And all the problems, all the issues that they had before completely shatter, and it's a thing of the past. A lot of female fans definitely shoot down a lot of guys' media, but I do notice that guys don't ever shoot down women's media. Like, women's media, there's a lot of weird stuff that goes in there, man. Like, I mean, you could just look at K-pop and we could see how much these artists are exploited and how dark the industry really is. And I'm not saying there's not guys who enjoy K-pop, but the majority of fans are girls, and girls continue to support these things, and that's pretty dark, man. Just something to think about, you know? Lastly, guys, I was so happy to see that this theater was completely filled. Usually it's never filled. The last movie that I saw was Fortune Favors Lady Nikiko, and it was so depressing because the movie was so freaking good, guys, and there was hardly anyone there. That there's a lot of good anime movies out there, guys, and no one even supports them. I think the one that got the most support this year was probably Belle, but that movie got so much advertisement, and it was like a movie that came from a big studio. Even then, that didn't get as much support as I wish it would have had. And it's just sad to see because there's so much effort they are put into these films, and I know that you guys would love them because I already know that you guys watch slice of life, rom-coms, and other, you know, more calmer types of anime. So I know you guys would definitely enjoy them, and you're doing a huge disservice by not visiting and checking out these movies. So I implore you, whenever you guys can, do some research, and I'm gonna try my best to promote these movies on my channel so you guys know when the films are coming, because I do know that they are super low-key sometimes. I mean, when Your Name came out, I mean, it was a big film, but it wasn't as I guess the advertisement wasn't as big as it should have been. Now I'm going to tell you guys my mini little review for the movie, because I'm not planning to do a full-on review. If you guys really did enjoy those movie reviews, let me know down in the comments and I will continue making them. But from what I know, I think they're not really popular, and I think you guys aren't digging them. I think I might just do them for like really big films, but films like this, like small ones, I think I won't do them just because, you know, I'm not going to make content for no one to see, you know. But for Fruits Basket, this movie was great because in the show there are some scenes that last forever, and it just keeps repeating the same thing, and it kind of just makes you feel emotionally tired because there's always this just sadness and something dramatic going on, so there was never a time for you to actually catch your breath. So this movie did a good balance of both, and of storytelling but also drawing your heartstrings. Overall, the film could have definitely used a lot less flashbacks to the first, second, and third season. That took forever. I was just like, guys, just start the freaking movie. And I think they did that to try to complete like a full hour. I think filmmakers need to realize, like, hey, you don't need to make a 2 hour film. Sometimes like a 1 hour film sometimes is more than enough. We saw that with Garden of Words, and that movie was really short, but it was a great film. Overall, I think it's a great film. 8 out of 10 to me. That's it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed these quick little episodes I'm starting to make. I just want to start sharing my ideas more, make more content, and just kind of talk about things that I think the anime community needs to talk about more. I don't know, stuff like that. Anyways, I'll see you guys later, guys.